M for mature. Buy Xbox One, get Battlefield 5.
Good grief.
Sweet me!
We're approaching our target.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna go, clean up.
tournament at what age group. If the teams are playing, Brazil and Mexican fans will find a way there to support their sides. But coming into this one, Shannon McMillan, I think you would be joining me. Now we can get your thoughts on this. And Mexico and Brazil both drawn in their opening matches at 0-0. Not really too much going forward. We'll start with Mexico first. What are you expecting to see from them today in their starting 11?
Well, what we need to see from Mexico is a little bit cleaner and more quality in that final third. They had a lot of opportunities earlier, but they didn't put it away. I think they left points on the field out there against against South Africa. That in this group, when you look at the big picture, that should be an automatic three points for the likes of Mexico and Brazil.
And we saw that earlier today as well with Japan getting that big victory against South Africa. Here is the starting 11. Not too many changes.
No, and the player to look for them is number 10, Alison Gonzalez. She's explosive up top. For Mexico to have success, she needs to be involved around that ball early and often.
She had 4 goals in CONCACAF qualifying. Maybe surprisingly, Nayeli Diaz drops to the bench today. She's another player who had 4 goals, but again, we mentioned they had issues going forward in that first matchup, so they're trying to shuffle the pack. Our match referee today will be Sarah Persson from Sweden, assisted by Julia Magnussen and Lisa Rashid. And then Maria Carvajal will be the 4th official for today's matchup. Mexico coming second in CONCACAF qualifying. Brazil, well, they won the South American Championships earlier this year. They'd have a couple of defeats on the way to the title in Argentina, but a side expected to come here and do well. But they weren't exactly at the best against Japan, particularly going forward. So they've really shuffled the pack in that attacking area.
Yeah, Brazil definitely struggled in the possession. They turned the ball over way too quickly, especially against a Japan who's going to want to keep possession and run them around. So Brazil needs to have more possession. They need to get Jennifer and Emily involved. They're the top scorers for them through qualifying, but we didn't see enough of them in the final third with quality touches.
This is not the first World Cup meeting at this level between these two sides. They met in the group stage back in 2012 in Azerbaijan. Brazil getting the victory on that day 1-0. I'll leave out the jokes of no players remain on the side because, well, I think you get the picture. Here is that Brazil starting 11.
Again, key for them is number 9, Jennifer, and Emily, number 11. They're coming on both sides of the flanks where they need to get the ball in that attacking third, create those chances, and give them an opportunity to put some of these away because they led the team, as we mentioned, with goals, and it's going to be key for Brazil to pick up points here against Mexico, knowing their next game against South Africa could put them in good position to advance.
And Jennifer with 3 goals, Emily with 3 goals, both out wide. There we see Monica Vergara. Hoping that Mexico can kickstart and get a victory today. Try keep pace with Japan. Lusau on the other side of things. Well, he looks ready for action today.
He's got his game face on. He's hoping his girls do as well.
Confirmation of the players available from the bench. Nayeli Diaz picking up that yellow card in the first match, and she'll certainly be one to watch coming on. Amanda, Vitória, other players for Brazil. Amanda dropped to the bench. Again, both of these sides looking to get something going forward. It is Brazil who kick things off, attacking from right to left at the Estadio Domingo Borgueño Miguel. We are in Maldonado, Uruguay. And both of these sides currently on 1 point behind the group leaders, Japan. They took care of business earlier today, and convincingly as well, Shannon. 6-0. We all know the Asian teams at this level do very good indeed, and Japan showed it. Now they can sit back and watch this one.
Absolutely, and you better believe Mexico and Brazil are well aware of the results earlier. That raises the importance of this game and getting 3 points as well as the goal differential, making sure they get some positives in that column as well.
And Luisa trying to get forward, trying to play that through that Mexican defense who played well in that first match, although it weren't really tested. More gone out wide for Molion. Molion, who will play on this right-hand side, was looking to connect with Vanessa Busso, who comes into the starting lineup today. He plays club soccer with legends. Here's Malion again, trying to come inside from that right, and Brazil doing well to clear the danger. Positive beginning here from the CONCACAF side. And the cross comes in, and that one's going to be relatively easy for Mayara in goal.
Yeah, we saw Mayara in the earlier game against Japan. She plays off her line, so you would think Mexico would have that scouted, and crosses in like that are going to be easy for her all day. They want to get end line and force her back on her line and then look to cut the ball back for a scoring opportunity.
You mentioned, Shannon, Mexico probably feeling like they left a couple of points on the table against South Africa. I'm not quite sure if that would be the same for Brazil. It was a tough encounter against a very good Japan side, as we've seen earlier today.
Yeah, and Brazil definitely struggled to break Japan down. I think if you look at the picture for them, they're happy to get out of that game with a point. end the 0-0 tie. So again, if they can secure 3 points today, they're in really good position knowing that South Africa's on the horizon.
Ball played forward to Alison Gonzalez, a player you mentioned. Very good going forward. First real touch for her. Vasquez loses possession. Brazil not really keeping any kind of possession just yet. Only a couple of minutes in. Mexico, whose best appearance in the U-17 Women's World Cup, quarter-finalists back in 2014. Ironically, back then they lost to Japan to get knocked out. Well, they're on the front foot here. That cross takes a deflection. Gonzalez was challenging for it. Again, not fully cleared, and a half shot. And, well, it just sat up on the half volley. Well, it didn't look too worried about it, but it wasn't a bad hit by Nicole Perez.
This is actually a great hit, a little half volley. Misclear there from Brazil. See a little, this is a tough ball to judge, but she does a good job striking it. Lets Mayada know they're going to take these chances from long range, try to keep her on her line, and look to play in behind them.
All seem to talk about match day 2 in the group stages as the real moving day. Teams have felt themselves out on match day 1, and well, Mexico on the front foot here early on.
Yeah, and you know, those first games, there's got to be nerves. You have to think of the age of these young women. It's their representing their country on a World Cup stage. No matter what level they play at, what club they play at back home, there's going to be nerves. You're going to have some little bit of finding out what's your style going to be, what's your personality, and then, as you said, you want to see more out of this. Like on the Brazil side, where's that Brazilian flair? Those flashy players are going to make a difference 1v1.
Tana Sanchez, now the Brazilian attack, just trying to put a little bit more pressure on Sanchez and Soto as they played out of the back. Busso popped up on the right now. She's on the left-hand side. Ball back for Jimena Rios. Monica Vergara will be very happy with what she's seen so far, although not happy with that final delivery. Rios, who plays club soccer at Club America. Seen a lot more of that, Shannon, over the last couple of years. The professional clubs having a better setup for the women's game, and it's helped raise the level of some countries that haven't always competed.
Absolutely, and then you see the results on the fields at these younger youth levels. The countries that are now performing on this stage is because of the investment they've made in their youth programs at home, whereas in years past, Mexico's always looked to players that are playing collegiately in the States. Now they're able to keep them at home and provide them with a healthy environment to develop.
Added competition, certainly. Throw in again. Alison Sanchez trying to get a touch on it, but well marshaled so far. Brazilian defenders certainly know that Alison Sanchez is the one to watch. See Emily getting all the way back in to defend. Malion knocks that out off the Brazilian defender, and Mexico will have a corner kick.
Yeah, and if you're Mexico, you're happy right now. That's Emily, one of your leading scorers through qualifying for Brazil, that is now all the way back on your defensive end having to dig that ball out. If Mexico can keep them pinned in, they're not going to let the Brazilian personality players hurt them.
Vanessa Busso heavily involved so far. She'll be one of the targets. Soto coming up from the back as well. Vasquez with the corner, too challenging for it, well defended. Perhaps a chance to break here for Brazil. Not got too much going so far. That's the fullback, Giseli, I know impressed you, Shannon, in that first matchup. Loves to get forward from left back.
Yeah, she's your traditional outside back for Brazil. She has the green light to go all day, and she will, but defensively, she's going to scrap and win the ball for them.
Vasquez popping up on the right now after being on this side, taking the corner kick. Vasquez again, left-footed delivery. Yeah, you do wonder what they teach the fullbacks in Brazil. Certainly attack first and everything else after that.
Absolutely. That's where the flair and the personality comes in, and you want to see that because Brazil right now, part of why they had the success and got the point off of Japan is because they are so organized and compact in the back, but they're just missing that flair, the typical Brazilian flair of the flashiness in that final third.
Soto. Gonna play that ball forward. Nice turn, and this should be a free kick. It is a free kick. Lovely approach play from Natalia Molion.
That's an easy call there for the referee. Malion taken down there hard. She bounces back up quickly.
Interesting. Inside the first 10 minutes, we've already seen the wingers switch roles, Malion and Vasquez.
Yeah, you like that versatility that they offer Mexico, because they can come down either side, especially if you have your left flank taking the corner kick all the way on the right side. That's a long trek to get back defensively, so the interchange there is big for them.
Good delivery, and it was a really good opportunity. Alison Sanchez in acres of space, but couldn't find the target. A real missed opportunity for Mexico.
And that's the player they want to find right here in Mexico, Gonzalez. That's their key goal scorer. It's a tough ball. It's just a little bit of a redirection on that, but she just hits it over the net. Mayar's happy to see that result there.
Maybe surprisingly, it was Jennifer, the attacker for Brazil, who was picking up Alison Sanchez. No disrespect to attacking players, but aren't always the most diligent defensively on set pieces.
No, that's when you're the attacking flair personality goal scorer, that's the last thing you want to be doing is defending.
Never had that issue with you, Shannon.
Never.
Mexico again coming forward. Positive play again. Silvana Flores losing out, though, and Brazil trying to get that ball out onto that right-hand side. Jennifer was closing for a Brazilian player staying on the ground here. Play will continue. Mexico have it back as they go out to Reina Reyes. Malion just stepped on the ball and lost her balance. Jennifer, who seems to be playing a little bit more central than we saw in the last matchup.
Yeah, we typically see Jennifer coming off of the right side, and she has that 1v1 personality to get into the space behind, so playing more in a creative role there in the center.
I mentioned Brazil winning that South American Championships. A couple of losses in either of the group stages as well, so they were a side that struggled to play consistently at a high level. It was actually their third South American title at this level. Mexico giving possession away rather cheaply, and here's a chance for Brazil to attack. A poor delivery initially by Soto, who just gave the ball to the Brazilian attacker.
Yeah, but then Brazil returned the favor and gave it right back, and that's the lack of quality in that final third that Brazil is lacking so far.
They look like two teams that had 0-0 draws in the first match, don't they?
They do, and knowing the importance of this game, you might have a little bit of the nerves, but it's going to be who can shake those off first, maintain the possession, and then find the opportunities in that attacking third.
Nusa watching on. From what you've seen, Shannon, in the first matchups and then this morning, Japan, do you think, are they the best team in this group? Should we expect them to win this group?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think they were probably a little bit frustrated that they weren't able to break Brazil down, but Brazil, as we said, were very compact and almost content to just sit in on that. So when they were able to play against the South Africa, move the ball around and let their personalities shine, you know, and also 2 penalty kicks, that means they're causing havoc in that penalty box. So it's a great result for Japan, and they're sitting comfortable right now.
Soto goes back for Yaindi Gutierrez. Mexico almost just trying to entice Brazil out of that defensive shell. Seen very little of Maria Luisa so far, who was brought into the attack. And again, it's a cheap giveaway. Can Brazil take advantage? Jennifer took a fraction too long to get that ball off her feet and get the shot on goal, but that was poor from Gutierrez. Well, most of Brazil's creativity so far has come from the Mexican defenders' mistakes.
Yeah, that's a bad mistake there on the part of Gutierrez. Plays it right into Jennifer's feet. And look, in Brazil right now, that's where they need to take advantage of those opportunities. That can set the tone and set you up for an easier path, but missing those opportunities early can come back to haunt you.
Nice flick in the middle of midfield there from Busso. Flores tries to win it back, and the referee, a little bit of a late whistle there as Silvana Flores thought she was going to drive forward. 16 years of age, Silvana Flores, who already signed with Arsenal. That's a better turn, a little bit of space on this left-hand side. Emily. Giseli makes a good run from left back. And the referee's whistle once again is gone. Quite sure whether that was for an initial offside against Emily. And goal kick.
Ball's not quite out. I think Mexico's going to breathe a little sigh of relief there, but that's the personality. Emily is one of your leading scorers through qualifying. You want her to be taking people on 1v1. She had a great little slip pass there, but unfortunately there that the assistant referee called the ball out. And
Giseli, we saw that so many times, getting forward from left back, and she made a very good run. I don't like to pick on referees too much, but that call might have been a little bit inaccurate. I guess that would be the nice way of putting it.
Yeah, well, the ball's on the line. The ball has to be completely over for it to be out. So that's a tough call for Brazil and a great opportunity. But if you're Brazil and your left back is in the box getting on the end of a pass, that's a good sign for you.
Busso dropping back in, and she's won another free kick. That one goes against Miriam Cristina.
She just kind of comes in there and clips her a little bit. She got the ball, but also a lot of the players, so the referees are going to call that every day.
Tana Sanchez goes back to Soto, who's had a couple of giveaways so far from centre-back. Better pass this time, looking for Flores. Not a better ball that time, as she gives possession once again to Brazil. Scrappy opening quarter of an hour here.
Yeah, and if you're Mexico, you want to be able to have the possession and try to break the lines, but you've got to have more quality on finding your players. Right now, there's just giving the ball right back to Brazil.
Molion dropping off, wanting it, and that was good defending from Giseli. Nice ball looking for Vanessa Busso. Busso's been watching quietly, but now he's starting to bark out some instructions.
Yeah, he knows what's on the line here. He wants to pick up 3 points and have a little bit more of breathing room as they go into their third and final bracket game against South Africa.
I guess Brazil would see that if they could get the win today. They would be expected to get the win against South Africa, and they'd have 1 foot in the next round.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, most of her work so far has been on the defensive end. More matchups coming up over the coming days. We'll be together tomorrow for the US's second game against Korea DPR. I hope you've been working on those names.
I'm still working on those, but that disappointing start for Korea DPR, the reigning champions. I know those players have aged out, but you know, big opening loss against Germany.
Germany looked very good as well, so this is a pivotal match for the US. Ball played through, it's good. Cover defending from Tana Sanchez. The US opening game victory against Cameroon. A couple of big moments, contentious moments in that match, couple of red cards. We had just about everything. More importantly, we had a US win.
Absolutely, a big win for USA to start their campaign off this U-17 World Cup. But you know, in fairness, Cameroon gave him some trouble.
We'll talk a little bit more about that US game tomorrow in a half-time segment. For now, it's Giseli coming forward. She's looked bright again on this left-hand side. Well, that's good defending, very good read.
Yeah, it's a great run forward by Giseli, but Mexico did a good job forcing her into the middle where all the numbers are. I think if she could have kicked that back out to the flank, they would have had more space out there to try to create something.
Antonia Bruna. Isadora, her central defensive partner, as it was in the first matchup. Malion just losing out. Signs over the last couple of minutes, Brazil are starting to find their feet. Lovely turn from Emily, still has it. And that was good help defensively from the Mexican players. Forward around, one of the best attacking options for Brazil now. There's space in behind from Mexico as they come forward. Busso, excellent challenge. And Busso perhaps was a little bit late with that tackle as well.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of frustration on that foul because Busso had the space 1v1. You've got Brazil caught out, knowing that they like to play compact on defense. When you have the space and you catch them out, you've got to take advantage of this. So she's tracking back after losing the ball and just clips her from behind.
Yeah,
that's a frustration foul.
Yep. No doubt about the decision as well on the yellow card.
Absolutely.
Luzelli playing it for Vittoria Bruna. Isadora. Isabella was trying to make a run on that right-hand side. Isabella staying in that right-back role. Bruna looks like she's gone to a right wing position for this second matchup. Throw in looking for Luisa. Good help defensively from Vasquez. Brazil have it back. That one threaded through and well, eventually goes to Heidi Gutierrez, but that was better approach play from Brazil.
Yeah, we're starting to sense that Brazil's getting a little bit of rhythm to them, which could be trouble for Mexico if they can't stop this. And again, they force that ball in the middle. I think they need to look to exploit the wings and the space behind the outside backs of Mexico.
Morena Reyes and Jimena Rios, the two fullbacks for the Mexican side. Right now it's Brazil on the back foot defensively, and that one played out of play for a throw-in by Vittoria Bruna. Morena Reyes coming forward to take this throw-in.
Presta atenção. Até o final, você acompanha o...
The defending from Bruna, equally good. Pressure from Mexico to win it back. They haven't allowed Brazil to play through their midfield at all. Ball back with Bruna. Goes to a central defensive partner, Isadora. Almost get the sense, Shannon, it's two sides worried about making the first mistake rather than really taking it upon themselves to go forward.
Yeah, and often at this level, that's what it comes down to, who's going to make the mistake and then who's going to be on the other side ready to capitalize on it. And again, I think Brazil's starting to get a little bit more of the momentum here, but can they capitalize and create something that final third?
I'm going to look at Monica Bagara watching on. She took over the side in January. It's a side that lost to the US in that CONCACAF final. Who were by no means overrun by the US. That one 3-2, very close game. They gave as good as they got.
Yeah, and they were happy with that. And I think US had to come back from behind to beat them as well. So they definitely riding some confidence coming into this. And again, they know they left points out there on that opening game. So they want the 3 points today to make sure they have a chance to advance.
So many sides on the women's side of things use the US as that benchmark as how you can really compete. Not quite at this level, though. The US haven't quite got it done at the U-17 World Cup so far.
Yeah, but just the culture and the tradition of what the U.S. women's program has been from the start. They've set the bar. That's what everyone wants to attain and aspires to. So the U.S. players should have that little bit of the chip on the shoulder, but then get out there and follow it up with how they play.
A culture set by players like yourself. Do you have anything? Do you win anything as a U.S. player?
No.
No.
I was blessed to be a part of some great teams.
And we were certainly blessed to watch those teams in action as well. Today we're looking for the stars of the future. As it stands, a stalemate so far between Mexico and Brazil.
They both know a lot's on the line with this game and 3 really important points. And to your point, this is players of the future, so they want to take advantage of this opportunity. Even though it's only a U-17 World Cup, they want to move on through the ranks of the U-20s and then potentially play for their full women's team. So there's a lot on the line personally as well as his team.
Is this something the head coaches for the full national teams will have their eye on as they're looking to move forward as well?
They absolutely should. If they aren't, then they're missing out, because there's a lot of quality coming through that we've already seen in this tournament so far, and players that are going to make a name for themselves, and that should be on their radar if they're not already.
Strong challenge from Silvana Flores. Luisa dropping a little bit deeper now to get possession. And once again, Brazil, every time they get
2 or 3 passes connected in those central areas. Mexico do well defensively to win it back. Vasquez out wide looking for it. Mentioned the compactness of Brazil against Japan. It's more of the same today. Almost stretched here. That was a nice idea by Alison Sanchez, trying to thread that one through. But good defending on that far side by Isabella. Rios, Sanchez, Busso. Mexico just upping the tempo going forward.
And Brazil's doing a great job getting almost every single player but one behind the ball and being organized. It's going to be a little slip pass like that Mexico almost got through. That's going to be the difference. But if you're Brazil, when you clear that ball out, you need your front player to be strong and hold that ball up for you.
Another chance to get across here from that left-hand side. Again, it's Rios. Again, Mexico on the second ball. That's been the theme so far in this first half. See, one of Brazil's losses in qualifying was to the hosts of the tournament, Uruguay, who already knew they were going to go in. They still played in the qualifying round.
But those results are big because when you're Mexico, you see that they have a loss like that. You know that you have a chance against them. And what we're going to see at this level, this age, is the ideas are there, but the execution's just lacking. And that's stuff that'll be fine-tuned as they go through the process and age and develop more.
Strong challenge again. Tana Sanchez. The ball played in over the top, and the fullback comes in to connect defensively. Good play from Reina Reyes. Knew her centre-back was out of position, and she covered very well indeed.
Yeah, that was a safe play just to clear it out right there. It looked like the center-backs almost collided. Gutierrez is coming off her line. That could have been trouble, but she takes control of that, just plays it out for a throw-in.
Giseli. You can certainly tell Giseli likes to get forward from left back. Hasn't had as many opportunities so far.
Yeah, but you gotta love that hunger in a player, especially at this age, and not only get forward, but she's effective in that final third. She's involved in the play, so she's picking and choosing when to go at right times.
You could argue one of the most effective attacking players in that match against Japan as well.
Yes, and her combining with Emily on that left side, that's going to be trouble for Mexico.
Maria Luisa trying to close things down. That ball played over the pressure. And a lot of space for Alison Sanchez. That's the second time we've seen that. Player just taking their eye off the ball and then losing the footing. That would have been an opportunity to break forward for Sanchez.
Yeah, again, when they get Brazil out, that's where they need to punish them, when they finally have them spread. Otherwise, if you lose the ball there, it allows Brazil to get back, get organized, get more compact again. You've got to hit them on those counterattacks early.
Good run again from Rios, trying to get forward, but that ball going just out of play. I had mentioned, Shannon, Uruguay with that victory over Brazil. They opened hosting the World Cup with that 5-0 loss to Ghana. So perhaps a little bit of pre-match nerves in that one as well.
And a lot more pressure when you're hosting, because they expect you to have the home crowd advantage. You know, you're at home, you're used to the environment, but it's a lot of pressure for 16, 15-year-old girls, especially being on a world stage like this, representing your country.
Antonia Brun, a nice ball forward. Emily again losing out initially, tried to win it back. Now there's a chance to break for Reina Reyes. Sanchez. Emily forced all the way back in, strong challenge. Emily wanted the goal kick, certainly was off her last. We're not going to get them going forward, Emily, but helping out defensively when she can.
Yeah, she's definitely putting the work in. Here's a great hard tackle against Gonzalez. It goes out for the corner kick. But you gotta love that fight, and your outside attacking player who's one of your superstars in the final third, putting the work in defensively and setting the tone.
Annette Vasquez, as always on these set pieces, left-footed in-swinger. Soto and Tana Sanchez inside the area. Both of those players trying to create a little bit of space, and that delivery in, and it was a free header. And that's another missed opportunity. Alison Sanchez again left an acres of space.
Yeah, she got free of her man there, had a wide open opportunity. She might have caught herself a little bit surprised that she was so open, but again, that's at this age, They see it, but they don't always have the proper execution.
Those mental lapses that, as time and experience goes by.
Yeah, because those are opportunities you have to put away when they're given to you like that, especially so easy.
Unfortunately, time and experience didn't help my mental lapses, hence my very short career.
No comment.
Bruna, and that one's going to be flagged for offside.
But you see there how compact the Brazilian defenders are. All the space is out on those flanks. You're going to see them here. The ball's going to come in, but they collapse in. All this space out there, that's where Mexico needs to look to exploit Brazil and get in behind them.
And to your point, that's Giseli, the left back, almost in a central position.
Yeah, because they rely on their outside backs or outside wingers to come back so much, so they all pinch in on the back line. They've got to find that space if you're Mexico.
And hopefully, those of you watching at home watched the Japan game earlier today. You got your share of goals in that one. Today, the second match, certainly more of a chess match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a hard-fought goal that's going to happen in this game. Two teams that are very similar and a lot on the line for both of them. They know that. The players know that.
And again, the ball threaded through, looking for Alison Sanchez. Won in midfield by Perez. Alison Gonzalez, excuse me. Isadora going across to take this one. Brazil under pressure, but not too many saves so far for Mayara. The goalkeeper hasn't been that troubled. Isadora. Isabella, well won back by Jimena Rios. So far, the Mexican fullbacks will feel happy with the work they've done on the real two attacking threats for Brazil in wide areas, Jennifer and Emily. And then the pressure coming. Bruna. Giseli. Maria Luisa dropping all the way back in just to try and get a touch on the ball. The attacker brought in, really starved of service. Bruna. 30 minutes into this first half. Group B match day 2 action. And as it stands, both of these sides yet to get off the mark in the goals column in both matches. Well, a fraction late. And the free kick will go to Brazil. Again, it's Miriam Cristina feeling the full effects of that challenge.
And she steps in right here, just gets a knee to the leg there. She should be able to walk that off. And you see the possession of Brazil, they're passing around the back, but they need to have these probing balls that are going to break the lines of Mexico. But every time they try to play these, they're losing the ball just like that.
Emily trying to get in behind this time, and Reyes again has done very well defensively. Mayra Reyes and Jimena Rios would have known they were in for a difficult game today against these Brazilian forwards. So far, so good for the Mexican fullbacks.
Yeah, and Reyes has definitely stepped up, is setting the tone back there with some hard tackles for Mexico.
A little bit of space opening up on this left-hand side now. Good run from Rios, this time adding to the attack. Gets the cross in, just over the head of Gonzalez. Busso, back for Gonzalez, acrobatic effort. And that one just a couple of yards wide. What a goal that would have been.
Again, here Mexico goes. They attack it. A nice ball to the back post that's played across one time. And Gutierrez a little ambitious there, but a good try on goal. The bicycle kick that just goes wide.
And Brazil trying to play out, almost lost possession. Did well to hold on to it. That was a lovely delivery in as well. And you've got the credit Alicia Gonzalez thinking on her feet quickly.
Yeah, it's a great effort there. She had her back to goal. There wasn't much she could have done except take it down and hope she has a teammate in the box, so why not try that?
It might take something spectacular for one of these sides to open the scoring.
Yeah, and you got to think when whoever finds that first goal, the floodgates are going to open, that confidence will just surge out and they'll be able to get more. But it is a bit of a chess match right now. Who's going to break the other team down or pounce on a mistake?
Nice turn. Very good play from Annette Vasquez. And now Brazil looking to break. Ball knocked forward by Emily. And met with a strong challenge from Tana Sanchez. This time Reyes was got forward, but the centre-back comes across and times the tackle to perfection.
And that's just great defending there by Mexico. If she doesn't get that ball out, Emily's at the end line, and we know she has the personality and the flair to create something for Brazil. So this now allows Mexico to get back behind the ball and get more organized defensively.
The voice of Monica Vergara on the sideline. I imagine we'll be generally happy with how our team have played so far. They've been the more likely with the possession in terms of creativity.
Yeah, Mexico's definitely kept Brazil pinned in their end more, but they just need to have that little bit of the better execution in that final third with the opportunities they're trying to get in. Outside of that last cross and the bicycle kick by Gonzalez, they haven't really had a good chance on goal.
Isadora. Isabella. Better movement from Brazil. Luisa trying to play that one in behind first time. Almost came off. Emily was just off the shoulder of Reyes. And the cross in again, and well defended by Mexico. First real spell of pressure at the edge of the penalty area from Brazil. That was much better.
That was a very nice opportunity. Reyes was fortunate to get a little touch on that ball, and the spin carried it out for Emily. Otherwise, she's walking that in.
First time we've seen Emily in that inside channel as well. Stuck out wide and hasn't had much change out of Reyes.
Yeah, and Emily getting the ball in the box. As we said, she's leading scorer with Jennifer with 3 goals in qualifying. Brazil wants them to find their feet in there.
Mexico with another chance here. Busso had the chance to go forward, instead comes back and maintains possession. She'll get it back. Reyes, good help defensively again from Emily. Although Mexico, once again on the second ball. That's a strong challenge and a fair one as well. Chance to break here for Brazil. Although in truth, not too many numbers forward. Still Emily. Jennifer. Not the greatest of crosses, and that was easily dealt with, but better from Emily and Jennifer. I haven't really seen them combine, the 2 top scorers in the South American Championships.
Yeah, it's a good sign for Brazil when you get both your goal scorers touches on the ball in the same play.
Cross into the area, the header on goal, and again Gutierrez goes down. It might have been going wide, but that's the first time we've seen really either team try to get a cross in deep into the penalty area.
And Jennifer was just a little unfortunate not to get enough power on that. I don't think she hit it as cleanly as she would have liked.
Gutierrez, Soto had those couple of early mishaps, but since then has looked comfortable in possession. Gutierrez going a little bit longer, nice little flick as well, but well read defensively by Brazil. The pressure coming though. Busso has an option out wide. Vasquez perhaps could have come a little bit earlier with that pass. I'm reading your body language on that one, Shannon.
Yeah, and the ball was played a little bit behind Vasquez, which made her come back to get the ball. It allowed Brazil to get there. If she played that a little bit earlier and more diagonal through, that could have been trouble for Mexico creating there.
A free kick in a good position. We've already seen Velasquez has a very good left foot in these set-piece situations. There's that strong challenge on Gonzalez to try win it back.
Yeah.
Trust me, the ball eventually came back to ground on that one. Not going to be the left-footed delivery. It's going to be Nicole Perez. And Guadalajara midfielder.
You see Mayada for Brazil playing off her line. Be a little cheeky, drive one near post, test her out.
I wonder if that's in the mind of Nicole Perez. She did have a look up in that direction.
Yeah, more than likely we're going to see her play it across, but you've got to test those keeper and keep them honest. You play one in there, next one that's set up, she's going to guaranteed play a few yards back closer to her line.
Perez looking back across as if she's going to go with her initial instinct and get that delivery in, and well, in the end it wasn't a great delivery. It might work out for Mexico, still might work out. It was a poor delivery that almost fashioned the goal scoring opportunity. Reyes wins it back again. Can she deliver? Well defended. That final ball lacking for both sides. And it's going to go out of play for a goal kick. So a free kick in a promising position that ends up counting for nothing for Mexico.
Yeah, when you have the time and the opportunity on a set piece like this, you have to drive that ball at least over the wall into the back post and give your team a chance. Otherwise, if you play it short like that, it's an easy counterattack ball. There's the opportunity earlier. Jennifer didn't quite get enough on that, enough to test Gutierrez. But a wasted opportunity for Mexico. You've got to drive that to the back post, at least overhit it rather than underhit it.
What a lovely piece of skill from Giseli. Faked as if she was going to go long. Wrong-footed, the Mexican player. Flashes of brilliance. Not yet in the final third. Good run here from Isabella. Much more powerful on that right-hand side. Still Isabella, and she's won Brazil a corner kick. That was good play from the fullback.
It's nice to see Isabella getting involved on that opposite side like Giseli's done on the left side. It's good signs for Brazil. You're starting to see the personalities like Giseli, the skill there, the individual talent. Not only she's going to scrap defensively, she's going to help set stuff up. She springs Isabella down the right side.
Isadora, one of the obvious options, a towering centre-back. He makes a run towards the penalty spot. Wasn't a bad delivery, well defended. The shot deflected, still not fully cleared. Brazil maintain possession, although they're forced all the way back to the halfway line. This ball from Giseli. Giseli continuing her run. These are the kind of positions she can do damage in. Well, that's what you call the commentator curse. Possession given right back to Mexico.
Yeah, but Giseli all day long, she is going to run that flank non-stop.
Luisa trying to open things up on that far side, but wasn't even close to linking up with Isabella. Molion. Ball played in behind Gonzalez. The goalkeeper well off the line. Gonzalez couldn't punish her for it. That was a real opportunity, and the flag's dead down as well.
Yeah, she's on. It's when the ball is played. That's a nice through ball there. Gonzalez sees the keeper out. She just hits it a little too strong. Mayada is going to play off her line. That could come back to hurt her, but right there she got Gonzalez uncomfortable enough that she hits it over versus in the goal. Gonzalez is going to definitely want that opportunity back.
And that, you could argue, was the best chance of the first half so far. Victoria Bruno was caught out for pace as well. Gonzalez 1v1. There was only going to be one winner.
Yeah, knowing Gonzalez's speed too, she might not have been worse off to dribble the keeper a little bit, take a touch, let Mayada get out of the play, and then easy tap in. But she went for the ambitious one, just overhit it a little bit.
You mentioned in the first couple of minutes, sweeper keeper. Certainly well off the line there, Mayada.
Yeah, Brazil plays such a flat back four. Mayada sweeps back there, cleans up those long through balls. You see right now, she's at the top of her box. You like that from your keeper, but it could also bite you.
He has to read those situations well, and on that one, Almost caught herself in between being on the line and pushing out and getting pressure. Is the onus more on Mexico here, given their final group match is against Japan, to get the 3 points?
Absolutely. I think if Mexico doesn't come away from this game with 3 points, they're worse off than Brazil are, who have South Africa, because again, that should be the 3 points for you, the automatic ones. When you look at the teams on paper, Brazil, they were able to sneak a point happily off of Japan. They're going to be in a better position here if Mexico cannot get the 3 points.
Leon again coming to the right. Nice ball forward.
It's a beautiful little ball, split ball right there.
The Brazilian midfield is going to go. I don't think there was a suggestion there was a foul there. She's back on her feet now. Cristina. Marleon. Tricky wide player. Reyes. Nice delivery into the space. It's got through, and Mexico have the opening goal. Vanessa Busso at the far post. It was lovely approach play, but what a delivery that is from Reina Reyes.
Goal for Mexico. Goal para el equipo de México.
Now Leon sets it up here, little 1v1 skill, and she's going to play it back for a great little cross right here. What's nice about this is it keeps Mayada on her line. Gonzalez there has Mayada freeze a little bit because she's coming in, misses the ball, but Russo's there on that back post. You see there, Mayada had to stay a little honest because she saw Gonzalez coming. And Busso does a great job on the back here. Usually people are going to watch that front runner and think it's going in, but she stayed with the play for a nice tap in there. It's a huge goal for Mexico.
And on the balance of play, Shannon, you'd probably say a deserved goal as well.
Yeah, they definitely were starting to surge there. I think Brazil was getting caught a little bit, pushing forward with the numbers, and on that one, Mexico definitely punished them.
A lovely piece as well in that build-up was Molly. When she had possession, you could hear the call from Reina Reyes. She wanted to pull back, knew exactly what she was going to do, and put that delivery into the area. Was it they call it the corridor of uncertainty in between the goalkeeper and the defenders?
Yeah, it was a beautiful bending ball that caught Mayada, and like we said, Gonzalez was screaming in on it, so that also made Mayada hesitate a little bit, especially knowing a keeper that likes to come for it, and ends up going right between both of them, and Busso's right there to tap it in. It's just like you draw it up on the training fields.
Easier to draw up on the training field than actually execute, but nice when it does, and not a bad time to score as well, just before you go in at half-time. That'll change the team talks of both teams. And they're coming forward again here, Gonzalez, and that is an excellent challenge. Bruna had to time it well, right on the edge of the area. Gisele put in the pressure. A long way to go, but a defeat wouldn't kill it off for Brazil. They still go into that final game knowing if they picked up 3 points and Mexico were to lose, they'd both be on 4. Then it comes to goal difference and so on. So whatever the result today, both of these sides plenty to play for moving on.
Absolutely, and Brazil knows that, you know, it could come down to goal differential, and knowing you're playing a South Africa versus a Japan, you have a little bit more of a sigh of relief. But if you're Mexico right now, you're going into halftime with a little bit of pressure taken off your shoulders. I'm sure that Coach Vergara is going to get them fired up and tweak some things to hopefully exploit Brazil a little bit more and get an even more convincing win, because it could come down to goal differential, so they're both not going to want to leave any goals out there.
The one minimum additional minute in the first half almost up. Vanessa Busso brought into the side to add to the attack, and she has got the only goal of the first 45 minutes. Shannon, your overall thoughts on what we saw in the first half?
I think it was pretty even. I think we saw little surges. Brazil started to get some possession. They still need to create a few more opportunities in that final third. And then Mexico, when they get the ball, they've got to attack a little bit faster and not let Brazil get as organized and compact as they like to. That's how you're going to exploit them.
And Amanda left on the bench for Brazil. Maybe we will see her in the second half. Mexico, well, they have to be happy, 1-0 up, and as it stands, if it stays this way, they will join Japan at the top of the standings, which is vitally important heading into that final group match.
Yeah, and a lot of confidence going against Japan, because you know you have your fate in your old hands. Going against Japan, you can pull out a win, and you're good. You're going through, so you always like to have your fate in your own hands, not leaving it up to what's going to happen in the other games.
Well, it was a bit of a chess match early on, but Mexico strike first through Vanessa Busso. They lead after 45 minutes. We'll be back with more from the U-17.